Okay, hello, Shakopee High School crew. What's going on? This is Mr. Rose, freshman counselor, back again. We are talking about colleges, y'all. Already, it's ninth grade, but we're talking about them already. Now, before we go too deep into it, this is about colleges, but this is not to say that this is the only pathway out there. There's all kinds of pathways. But for those of you who are already considering, maybe you want to go to college, after you graduate high school, this is the series for you because we're looking at all types of different college opportunities out there. We've talked to public universities, private, HBCUs, and I'm excited about this one because we're going to be talking to an arts college, specifically here in Minneapolis. And so this is super exciting. I'm excited about this. And I have got Jessica Brozvik. Did I say that correctly? Brozvik?
Yeah, a lot of people say Brozvik and it's actually Brozvik, but
Brozvik.
it's all good.
All right, I'm gonna do that again. This is Jessica
Yeah,
Brozvik. She is with Minneapolis College of Art and Design, talking to us about colleges. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Rose. Thanks for having me on today.
Yes, I'm excited. Thanks for joining us. This is gonna be a great conversation. And so I want to start today a little bit about, you're with Minneapolis College of Art and Design, but I'm interested to hear a little bit about, what's the difference between a College of Art and Design versus a traditional college or university?
Oh, sure. Well, a main difference, at least between MCAT and those things, is that the majors that we offer are all within the arts. So they still touch upon, maths and sciences and things like that, but everything is geared towards the arts and what you're going to need for, senior level studio classes and for graduation. So as you can see here, there are 14 different areas of study that we offer, all within the arts, except for entrepreneurial studies that actually combines art and business.
So you're getting specific into the areas of study as it relates to arts in the different areas there. Now, it looks like you're specifically looking at like your visual arts in particular, correct?
Yes, that is correct. We are a 4-year private nonprofit visual arts college, and that is what we focus in on. However, areas like acting and performance-based things can kind of go into these different areas, such as like filmmaking and animation. But yeah, majority is visual arts.
Okay. Now, specifically with Minneapolis College of Art and Design, like what makes your school special, in particular as it relates to arts colleges and colleges of fine arts and visual arts?
Sure. MCAD being the only kind of high-end art college in Minnesota, is really nice to have I mean, of course, anybody in the world, but those of us who are living here as well. It's good to have it in our backyard. And the main difference is that when you're working within the arts, at a school like MCAD, you're taking classes with all other artists. So if you're the art star in your classroom, in high school, you come to MCAT and you're surrounded by all of the other art stars as well. So it's not like high school where you take an art class and you may have, people in it who are taking it just for fun, or they're taking it because they think it would be an easy A. Art is fun for a lot of people, but this is where you can be really, really serious about it. And I just wanted to pause for a second because I forgot. I think I got off track on your question. Sorry.
Oh no, that's no problem.
W-
So it's interesting to kind of going along those lines though, is with being in a college of arts and design, one of the things that's interesting about that is that you're not just going to a school, but you're also like joining a community
Yeah.
and developing a network. And I'm wondering if you could speak to that a little bit about kind of the arts community and
hmm
how being at MCAD, kind of helps students, kind of be a part of that community and grow in that community.
Yeah, definitely. So within the program itself, you're working with all these other students, of course, who are interested in the arts. But then you're also working with the professors who are, currently working within the arts as well. So you're thinking about not only your current work, but of course what you want to do, when you graduate. And it's nice because no matter where people are coming from, we've got students coming from all around the US and then also internationally. Everyone kind of has the same thing in common, at least, which is the arts. So it's a great way to just feel like you kind of automatically belong because everyone else there is obsessed with, the arts the same way that you are. And then, of course, you can find other things to connect to. But the professors really work with you one on one when it comes to your classes. And since we are a small school with only about 800 students, you are having smaller sized classes, which means that, as I said, the professors work with you individually. So they may give the entire class, here's what we're going to be working on today, like here's this still life, or here's this project. But then they go around and work with each individual student. And then afterwards, you can visit them during their office hours. You can ask them, any questions that you might have, and they're available there for you. So it does feel like a community, because of that kind of common connectedness. And that's why, being an MCAT alumni, I decided to, continue and work at MCAT in the admissions office, after I graduated, because I didn't really want to leave. I wanted to be, still within, that whole area of the arts, and working with new students to help them get into the college. It's a good vibe.
That's a really cool vibe. And like you said, to be able to be a part of a small community, to be able to work with people who are in an industry that you want to get into as well. And also kind of be in there to the point where, you have students who want to return, and also kind of just cycle back into the community a little bit. And so I want to transition a little bit into talking about careers in the arts, what students can do after they leave high school in the arts, or maybe even while they're still in it. But we're talking with freshmen right now, and let's say I'm a freshman who right now I'm very much interested in the visual arts. What would you say are some things that a ninth grader could do to prepare themselves to get into a career or get into an arts career, or a school like a school of arts?
Yeah. Well, the fun thing about the arts, I showed this next slide here. The fun thing about the arts is that there are so many different things you can do with an art degree. These are not all of them, but these are just some examples. And it's everywhere from, account planners, or account executives, to studio owners, teachers, travel photographers, right? Illustrators. It's very, very open. And as you can see from this slide in the upper right-hand corner, we also have MCAT alumni working at NASA. So it's very open, as far as what you can do with an arts degree. And so I would suggest that students really keep that in mind. Don't think that I'm just going to be like an individual painter, which you could be and you could do, but it's very, very broad. So think about, what you're making now, and if it's something that you enjoy, then that's what you should be creating. Kind of in the regard of, like, don't hold yourself back from, making what you want to make. And if you can take art classes in high school, that's a good thing, but it's not required. So, do work on your own. Try to hold on to everything. Don't throw anything out. It'll be good to reference later, but have fun with it at kind of freshman stage, freshman, sophomore, junior, even senior year. Just, enjoy what you're doing and do a lot of it. And then ask us questions. In admissions, we'll actually give you a critique of your artwork, at any age. So it's very open as far as that kind of communication goes.
And just following up with that, for students who may be interested, and let's say they're specifically interested in Minneapolis College of Arts and Design, but they're not close to graduating quite yet, are there ways for them to stay connected? Like you said before, it's really interesting that you mentioned how you're willing to critique artwork um,
Hmm.
for students, and I'm guessing for students who are considering MCAT, but how can students kind of stay connected, maybe to the MCAT community, and for those who may be interested in joining after they graduate high school?
Yeah. So the one way of contacting the admissions office could you get you in touch with an admissions counselor for kind of critiques and ideas and things like that. But even during the pandemic now, we do have different shows and events for the public as well. When you walk into the main building of MCAD, we're just two buildings right next to each other, and we're about 13 blocks south from downtown Minneapolis, so right next to the Minneapolis Institute of Art and the Children's Theater Company. So when you walk into our main building, it's immediately a contemporary gallery that either houses student work or work that's being shown across the United States, sometimes international artists. And that's a great way to kind of get a feel for the space. And also, you can attend an admissions event that we are having, all for the next couple months here virtually. And you can just go to mcad.edu and look under admissions events and sign up for one that you'd like. We have some where you look at the apartments. We have some where we kind of tour you through a specific major. But MCAT is also involved in a lot of community projects. Of course, off the top of my head, I can't think of one right now, but there's a lot of ways to kind of get connected in that regard. So,
That's a lot of great information that you share with us. And we appreciate you taking the time to kind of share a little bit about that, to share a little bit about not only MCAT, but the arts career in art schools in general, and giving us some information. So any final thoughts or words that you want to share with us?
well, high school can be an interesting time, in each of our lives. And it's especially now with everything going on. But something to, just keep in mind, I would say, is, do the best you can in your classes and ask for help when you need it. And if you enjoy the arts and you're thinking about making, art a career of yours, I would say, go for it and ask as many questions as you need, depending on, your interest, and just don't be afraid to kind of go for what you're interested in.
Great. Well, Ms. Brosick, thanks for stopping by and for sharing everything that you shared with us about MCAT, about the arts. And also to everybody else, to our freshmen who are watching this video, thanks for watching. Again, this is another great resource, another great place to look into some of these post-secondary options. So that concludes this video. Ms. Brosick, thanks for stopping by.
Thank
And
you for having me.
absolutely. And everyone else, have a great day.